Do you believe in aliens and people getting abducted and then go missing for a certain amount of time just to be back and nobody believes them what they went through? Well, this is a movie based on a real-life story by Travis Walton's book, The Walton Experience. A man who experienced alien abduction in 1975, and this is biopic science fiction mystery film called Fire in the Sky, released in 1993. Spoiler alert. While I might give you my opinion on the film, this is not a substitute for watching it for yourself. Links to the film are in the description. On November 5, 1975 in Snowflake, Arizona, logger Travis Walton and his coworkers, Mike Rogers, Alan Dallies, David Whitlock, Greg Hayes, and Bobby Cogdill, head to work in the White Mountains. Driving home from work, the loggers come across an unidentified flying object. Curious, Walton gets out of the truck and is struck by a bright beam of light from the object and is sent flying several feet backwards as if pushed by an unseen force. Fearing Walton has been killed, the others escape from the scene. Rogers decides to go back to the spot to retrieve Walton, but he is nowhere to be found. Making their way back to town to report the incident, the loggers are met with skepticism by investigators Sheriff Blake Davis and Lieutenant Frank Waters. Waters, realizing that there was a great deal of tension between Dallies and Walton and that Dallies has a criminal history suspect's foul play, a belief that quickly spreads to the rest of the town, leaving the loggers as social pariahs. After a large search party turns up no sign of Travis, the loggers are offered the chance to take a lie detector test. Though Dallies is initially hesitant, the loggers ultimately take the test in the hopes of proving their innocence. However, Waters declares that the tests were inconclusive and that they will have to return the next day to retake it. Rogers is outraged and he angrily declines, the other loggers following suit. The test administrator reveals to Waters and Davis that with the exception of Dallies, whose test results were inconclusive, the loggers seem to be telling the truth. 5 days later, Rogers receives a call from someone claiming to be Walton. He is found at a Heber gas station, alive but naked, dehydrated, and incoherent. A ufologist questions Walton, but he is thrown out and Walton is taken to a hospital. Rogers visits Walton while in the emergency room and ends up telling Walton that he left him after he was struck by the light but came back to get him. Walton appears enraged by this and turns away from Rogers, who blames the whole incident on Walton for getting out of the truck. During a welcome home party, Walton suffers from a mental breakdown and flashback of the abduction by the extraterrestrials. In his flashback, he awakens inside a slimy cocoon. Breaking out of its membrane, he finds himself in a zero-gravity environment inside a cylindrical enclosure whose walls contain other similar cocoons, and he is horrified to inadvertently discover that one contains the decomposing remains of a human body. As he makes his way to a neighboring area featuring what appear to be several humanoid spacesuits, he is apprehended by two extraterrestrial creatures. He is unwillingly hauled down corridors full of terrestrial detritus, such as shoes and keys, before arriving in a bizarre examination room. The aliens strip him of his clothes and cover him with an elastic material that pins him to a raised platform under an array of equipment and lights in the middle of the room. Despite Walton's terrified screams, the aliens pitilessly subject him to an experiment in which a gelatinous substance is shoved into his mouth, his jaw is clamped open, a device is inserted into his neck, and he is forced to endure an ocular probe while fully conscious during the experience. Afterwards, Walton loses consciousness until finding himself back on Earth disoriented and severely traumatized. While interviewing Walton, Lieutenant Waters expresses his doubts about the abduction, dismissing it as merely a hoax. He notes Walton's newfound celebrity because of the tabloids' attempts to profit from his tale, believing that he had faked the abduction to become a celebrity. However, with the investigation closed, Waters is forced to abandon his pursuit and leaves town. 2 years later, Walton visits Rogers, now a recluse, and the two reconcile. The closing titles inform that in 1993, Walton, Rogers, and Dallies were resubmitted to additional polygraph examinations, which they passed, corroborating their innocence. Well, this story is based on real-life accounts of a man called Travis Walton, on which he wrote a book called The Walton's Experience, which describes an extraterrestrial abduction. He went on a polygraph test twice with his friends, which proved twice that they were telling the truth. Now, go to believe, Was that a real alien abduction or mere Travis idea to gain celebrity status and earn money from it? Either way, we think it is the second one. What are your opinions? Write them in the comments. If you like movies that make sense and create good mood, here are some other recaps to check out. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more like this one. Please comment your opinion and what should we watch next, and I will see you in the next video.